This is the Studio 962, and I got a lot of questions regarding this mixer and how I use it in my workflow. Hi, my name is Conny Johansson, also known as Asteroid Killer, and this is Tutorial Tuesday. Over the years, I've been using my mixer in a lot of different ways. In the beginning, I was mixing every synth and effect in the mixer and just recorded the stereo out. Then I started to recording straight into DAW and mixed everything back through the mixer. I also at one point went totally mixerless and mixed and recorded everything inside of the computer. But the way I use it today is by far the best. The mixer is a Studio 962. It has 20 input channels and 4 output channels, not counting the 2 aux sends, and it has transformers on every input and output. 2 of the input channels are stereo and 4 of them can be found here on the master section. The master channels also have their own compressor and limiter. There are 2 aux sends on every input, and on the 12 main mono channels and the 2 stereo channels there's also a 3-band EQ section with sweepable mids. So, how is all this connected? All of my synths are connected to the patch bay and then to the mixer. The input and output of the patch bay are normalized, so for basic connection I really don't need to plug any cables. And although 20 input seems like a lot, not every synth has its own dedicated channel. And instead they are submixed on these 2 small Denon mixers. The 4 master channels and the 2 aux sends are routed via the patch bay to the input of the sound cards. My outboard effects are connected in the same way through the patch bay, but instead of going through the studio, they are going directly to the sound card and then into the DAW. With this configuration, I can listen to all my synths through the studio. I can also configure in Ableton what effect I want, internal or external, on the 2 aux sends. This makes it very easy to get a rough idea of how it's all going to sound even before it's recorded. Let me show you. Here inside of Ableton, my 2 aux sends are coming in on 2 tracks, and I've color coded them blue and yellow, the same as on the studio. And now I simply can choose what effect send I want in Ableton to represent the knob here on the studio. So now, for instance, on the blue one I have selected E, and E is the TC Electronic 8210 reverb. So now I should have a reverb on this knob here. The great thing about this is that I can now change the effect if I want to. So if I turn down the reverb, I can, for instance, choose this Strymon El Capistan, which is on the H send. So now I should have a delay instead. I can even have multiple effects on the same send knob. So now I have both reverb and delay. When it's time to record, I simply select master channel 1 and 2 on the channel I want to record, and master channel 1 and 2 are normalized to my 2 AMEC channel strips. With those I can choose to filter, EQ or compress. The output of the channel strips then goes via the patch bay back inside of Ableton. The great thing about this is that since everything is connected through the patch bay, I can in a very easy way reroute the signal and choose another compressor or effect if needed. Hi, Connor from the future here. When editing this video, I realized that I totally forgot to mention I'm monitoring all my synths through output 3 and 4. So to clarify it, recording 1 and 2, monitoring 3 and 4. Now back to the video. When everything is recorded and it's time to mix, I don't use a studio anymore. The recorded material goes straight from the DAW to the sound cards. But since the sound cards are connected to the patch bay, I can in a very easy way choose whatever outboard I want on the entire mix. To sum it up, the Studio 962 is a wonderful mixer and it is giving me the best of both worlds. You can even use this workflow with almost any mixer as long as it has some sort of bus channels on it, or you can even use a spare aux end. If you have any questions regarding the mixer or the workflow, please write it in the comment below and I'll do my best to answer it. Have a nice day and see you all in the next video.